Welcome, Medicare Agents of America. My name is Jason Checketts, and I'm with Insurance Professionals of Arizona. We are an FMO, and we help agents grow their Medicare business. And every year, I just kind of do little videos to show you how to do your certifications. If you're a new agent, this will pretty much apply to you as well. If you're a returning agent and you're already contracted with Devoted, this will go very quick for you with the Devoted's training. So the first thing to do is to get logged in to the agent portal. There's a few ways to get into it. Agent.devoted.com is one of the easiest ways. You get logged in here, and once you're logged in, you're going to see a certification banner, if you will, and you can view your current ready to sell status, or you can start your certifications now. So I'm going to go ahead and start my certifications. Now, at some point in here, it's going to have me review my personal information, like my W-9 information and things like that. So I'm going to pause the video. As a matter of fact, it looks like it's the next thing in the window here. So I'm going to skip that for the video so that my personal information is now not out on YouTube. But here's the steps that you're going to take to get certified. So I'm going to pause the video right now. I'm going to hit start certification. I believe the first thing that's going to come up is my W-9 stuff. I have to review that. Sometimes it'll ask you to check your banking information right here, direct deposit. So I'm not going to show you any of that stuff, but you're going to get to your W-9. You're going to opt in. If you want to get your 1099 electronically this next year, you can opt into that, and then you're going to get through your direct deposit information. Like I said, I'm going to pause on all three of those. They're really self-explanatory. Just go through the steps, make sure they're all accurate there. So stand by. I'll be right back. Okay, so I completed my W-9. I opted in to getting my 1099 electronically, and then I completed my direct deposit. And again, as a returning agent, my stuff was already there. I just had to verify it and electronically sign to say, yeah, that was correct. Now, on this next screen here, how do you plan to sell? So you can select whichever one that you're typically going to be selling in. And then they want to know which states you plan to sell in. So I'm licensed in a few states. I don't proactively market in other states. Me personally, our agency does, but I probably won't necessarily check these other boxes. Let's see. Utah's a new state next year. I'm looking at my little chart here. I'm looking forward to Devoted next year. Here in Arizona, they kind of tanked a little bit this year for 2025, but I have faith that Devoted is going to come back. I'm licensed in Texas. I'm licensed in Virginia. There's a few other states I'm licensed in here, but I'm not necessarily going to actively write. So my primary market, they want to know which primary market I live in, right? Arizona, Phoenix, Maricopa County. So I'm going to hit continue. All right, on to the next page here. They want to know if you're a veteran or a Devoted member, or if you have a family member who is on Devoted. I think that's just stuff they want to make sure that as agents we get recognized for. How long have you worked in the industry? How did you hear about Devoted? Primary goal. I don't know that I agree with all these questions. I guess they're trying to help us build a marketing strategy, but I'm just gonna select whatever here. Approximate size. Okay, fine. Which marketing demographics do you work with? I don't know. I mean, I don't care about these questions. I'm just gonna blow through them. They want to know who our preferred Medicare Advantage carrier is. Well, since I'm on there's a gnat here. Since I'm on the Devoted certifications, I'm going to tell them, hey man, Devoted's number one. I'm going to leave this blank. It doesn't have an asterisk here. Approximately how much of your annual Medicare Advantage business do you sell during AEP relative to OEP and lock-in? I don't know. Do you currently work in the community or table any retail location? I personally don't, so I don't, and this doesn't have an asterisk. All right, so I've answered their silly questions. Now I'm going to move on. You don't actually have to click each one, but I kind of feel like I need to so that they can assume that I read all this stuff. So I'm going to just say, yep, I read the code of conduct because I've already read it. Next. Agent agreement, right? So again, I'm going to click on that. I'm going to read that. And I'm going to acknowledge that I read it. There we go. Signature accepted. Background check. Okay, so it looks like they're going to need to do a new background check this year on all their agents. Totally fine. Happy to do that. So I'm going to pause the video while I put in my social security number and sign this form. Okay, I accepted the background check terms. I got that signed. So now what we're going to do here, if you're brand new, a brand new agent, and this is the first carrier that you're getting certified with, then you're going to go ahead and launch AHIP from this site and take the actual AHIP course and get the $50 discount. For me though, I've already completed AHIP, so I'm just going to upload my certificate. So I'm just going to move this out of the way real quick. All right. Okay, there we go. Well, there we go. All right. So uploaded my AHIP certificate, and then I'm going to move on. Now it's going to have me actually do the training. Okay. So the training itself, again, I've already done it, right? So I can restart it if I want to, but you're just going to go through all of these training components. It's kind of lengthy. If it's your first time, I highly recommend you go through each one. If you've been doing this now for 10 years, like me, um, you can go a little quicker, but you have to get through all of this training, and then you can jump to the exam. You've got 3 attempts. You've got to have an 85% or higher. So you start the exam, and it's really straightforward at this point. I think you could answer these questions really uh, without even looking at the questions themselves. Um, let's see here. Health. Okay, so they have to have parts A and B. Have a qualifying experience? No. Have Mrs. Davis is a devoted health agent member, and on March 21st calls in. She wants to switch her primary care doctor. She can call the devoted help team, the guide team, and they can help her. 100%. Good job. You go back to this page right here, and it's in certificate review. So they're going to review. They're going to do a background check, and then they're going to send you an email. I think Devoted does pretty good about sending an email, letting you know that your certifications are complete. Okay, but you should have check marks all the way down this side of the screen. That's Devoted Help. If you have questions, give me a call at 480 331 7974. Have a great day.